at first I was the one that typed the original portion of the book, and so as I typed, I read and understood, and it brought to light some things that I didn't know about Ed and Loretta. And then as the book was completed and I finished reading it, it's like almost like reading a love story, a novel with a not so happy ending, but in the long run, Loretta's made her landing to a better place, and Ed has found a new wife, and things have just been a good love story. Good story of God's grace, God's love, God's mercy. I would recommend reading the book to be an encouragement to someone who has cancer, that even though cancer is not a word that anybody wants to hear, God can give you the grace, strength, and what you need to get through whatever happens through the time. And that sometimes people think that life's completely over, and it may not necessarily be. You might have a lot of years to still minister and still be productive. It's not always a death sentence. I remember reading a portion of the book where it talked about faith as a grain of mustard seed, and how the mustard seed is the tiniest of seeds, and yet it can grow a large tree 9 feet tall, and sometimes it grows in the crevices of a rock and can break the rock apart. And that's where the scripture refers to faith as small as a grain of mustard seed can move mountains. And sometimes we don't think we have enough faith to believe something, but if we truly believe, it doesn't take a lot of faith to move God's hand. And I think we fall short in believing faith can do anything. It took several years because Ed and Loretta started writing their story, and the story of cancer and how it affects a family and how it affects the individual, the person that has the cancer, as well as the caregivers and those that are in the family. And then, of course, through the healing process where she had those years of being cancer-free, she ministered to a lot of people during that time personally. And then when the cancer came back, and then, the book just kind of sat for a while, and it was a struggle for Ed to get back into actually wanting to publish it, and but felt that several people felt that it was a book that needed to be published, and so it did take several years for it to actually come to where it was being published. It was difficult in the fact that Loretta was a friend, and it was hard to see her go through that time. It was hard to see my boss, Ed, go through that time. But Loretta never complained, and many times she would be in the office and she would question me about something in my life, and she'd pray with me, and it was a friendship that it was hard to see from outside looking in. I didn't feel like I was an immediate part of the whole process, but watching both of them and being close to their whole family, it was hard. I just highly recommend it to anybody, not just people who have cancer, but people that have other diseases, or people that have friends or family that are going through a difficult time or difficult outcomes of some kind of diseases or things. It's a book that is an encouraging, a way to look at your situation with eyes that, Jesus eyes.
Hi, I'm Pastor Chuck Reish. I'm the executive producer at Horizon Media Studios. It's a 501c3 media ministry, and what we're doing is helping other ministries tell their story. Homeless shelters and children's homes, Bible colleges, seminaries, mission sending agencies. With your help, we can continue to help tell their story, to inspire the world, to shine their light, and let God get the glory for the work that's being done in advancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Thanks again for praying for us.